Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we're going to be going over all the potential next upcoming PlayStation 5 restocks, places we'll be on the lookout for, as well as kind of give the usual Friday weekly recap where we can kind of finally get to go and celebrate that this week is over. Now, I'm sure you guys have probably seen we had a lot of random various stuff, both for game news, restock news, and kind of just the whole world itself, just being a really weird state I'm sure you guys have seen. So we just have a lot of stuff to go talk about throughout this video, a little bit of a laid-back time. I just hope you guys all have a fantastic weekend. We will obviously keep on making up a bunch of videos all throughout this weekend. We'll be watching restocks. We'll actually probably have some pretty good walking stuff as well tomorrow. We'll be touching that a little bit as of right now. And this will kind of just give you guys all the thoughts and comments and everything that happened all throughout this week. So, hope you guys will sit tight and relax. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. We got the Twitter link down below for the PlayStation 5 giveaway. Also follow the Twitch stream down below. We'll just hang out and chill and play games. Got that Weeble, got that Coinbase, got all that good stuff down below. And I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Also, check out the Amazon links too if you want. So, kind of to first of all start off this whole entire week, we did finally get to go and have our nice little Target restock. So, as you guys have probably been watching or seeing, we were watching that for about a few weeks. Like, in all honesty, it took a little bit longer than we thought it would, but they were sitting on stock, they were waiting on stock, and basically, we thankfully finally got the drop. Now, although it wasn't the best drop known to man, in all honesty, we did at least have a few decent amount of people go get their consoles. Now, I always kind of wish those drops would be slightly better. It did kind of seem like some stores were still sitting around, like, the 7 to 15 stock range. Some of the bigger, higher in demand spots, like in the middle of cities and stuff like that, did go and have extra stock, which is at least kind of nice. At least we did have a chance to see that. Although the one kind of big struggle with that one is it did kind of seem maybe somewhat botted. We haven't seen too many people go brag about it or gloat about it or talk about it. We'll maybe look into it throughout the weekend, maybe, but at least we did have that drop finally go and happen. So we'll probably be expecting now then the next upcoming Target drop. Probably the next, I'm going to say 3 weeks, just because all around like the restocks have been quite a bit slower when it comes to production, when it comes to movement, when it comes to shipping, when it comes to all of that stuff. And I'm sure you guys can probably understand why, because the whole world is literally just all over the place. So at least we did have that going on. We also kept on seeing Xbox Series X's throughout the week. We saw like an okay amount of confirms from both of them on those sides. And kind of the same thing just for overall general things throughout the week. We did also have a PlayStation State of Play. Now, if you guys had a chance to see, it was a little bit on the mediocre side. I think we'd all collectively agree on that one. Mainly on the fact alone that it was more on the Japanese, like more of the Asian type style games, more on like the JRPGs, KRPGs, etc., which at least still did have some new announcements, although I'm sure most folks are more hyped up for, say, God of War and other just various mid, like, the good games, like the good classic Sony games, like the Sly Coopers or whatever it is that might come out in the near future. So we'll be watching for that one to see if there's any more announcements for it. We've also been hearing rumors that there's a few more other events planned for both Nintendo and Xbox, more so on the summertime for E3, although those are very early leaks because, as you guys know, we're not even in spring yet, so we still got a few more weeks, a few more months for that. But at least on the bright side, that did go and happen. We have a few more games to be on the lookout for, and especially with Ghostwire Tokyo coming out in the next probably 2 weeks or so. Now, for other various things, we had GameStop. Now, GameStop actually did go start off the week kind of strong, and we don't usually see too many PlayStation 5 digital drops, which is kind of nice. So we did have one on this Tuesday, although we had a decent amount of folks go get it, just even by looking through my affiliate links. We actually had a decent amount of folks go getting that. And in case you guys are ever curious on how much money I made off that drop, I made $1. For some odd reason, the GameStop drop kind of changed a lot of their commission rates, which I don't really necessarily mind. I more so do it just so you guys can get your consoles. But it was probably one of the weirdest things because I think I made $1.40 from all like a few tweets and YouTube videos and everything else. But at the end of the day, as long as people get their consoles, I'm happy. That's kind of the weird side when it comes to GameStop. But we did have them go do a pure PS5 digital. They did not go do anything for Xboxes, so that does bump up the likelihood quite a bit for next week with maybe an Xbox Series X bundle, mainly because they did do a walk-in and normal drop. Although it kind of seems like they're more on like a 3-week product so far when it comes to their restocks. And I'm sure you guys have heard, and we'll probably even mention it more throughout the next few days, especially GameStop still has been having their PlayStation 5 walk-ins going on, especially for today. So if you guys are maybe PST and you guys still have some time, maybe check your stores today. And as well, maybe if you guys just want to go check tomorrow, we'll probably remind you guys and talk about that and talk about some more stuff when it comes to that drop probably tomorrow morning. But The stock numbers actually were a little bit on the lower side. We were seeing some that were like 3, some were like 4, some were 5. So letting you guys know it may be selling out quicker than expected. We'll probably still bring it up throughout the weekend just in case we have been still, like, seeing a few sporadic stores still having and receiving stock, in stock, selling stock, or whatever. But just keep that in mind. That was kind of a big focus throughout this week. So thankfully, we did have a nice target drop. Very nice to see. Good, mediocre GameStop drop, but the walk-in's a big major focus. And then also on the other stuff, we'll kind of, like I said, we'll probably cover a lot of the stuff tomorrow morning, just a little bit more, slightly more in-depth and fine-tuned. When it comes to Walmart, we did not go and see anything from Walmart. Walmart was pretty quiet all throughout this week, besides like no Xboxes, no PlayStations, no digitals, no nothing. It was a very, very quiet time, and that kind of at least does go bump up the likelihood of next week when it comes to their drops, probably up on the next Thursday. Mainly because Walmart itself usually has been pretty proactive. They have been on top of their drops. They have, been getting the good. But when it comes to Walmart itself, it does stink. Mainly because, like, they usually have good drops. I think a lot of normal non-bots, non-weirdos usually go and get it. So it's just kind of, kind of cool. But the one kind of struggle for that one still is, well, they're still waiting for more consoles. So hopefully Walmart can come in clutch as of maybe next week. It's kind of on the overdue side. A lot of folks who order their consoles have gotten them too, which means that they're not that overdue for stock. So we'll keep you guys in the loop for that one. Now, of course, you guys have probably seen a decent amount of stuff for Best Buy, both the walk-ins and the glitch. Now, I may actually want to go do another separate video because the glitch is kind of making its rounds a lot more. We did make a video on that like 3-4 weeks ago, although I think a lot of times, because I was one of the first people to report on that, people were like, wait, what are you talking about? Like, it's just like weird. So I may go do another separate video on that one. But we were seeing quite a few reports, and even still today, of Best Buy having additional walk-in stock for the PlayStation 5s. So it's always worth maybe to go call and casually check your local stores, go and see. Some stores were apparently having stock just on the shelves. Some stores who had to do like the glitch and call and go and ask the employees in the back house. You had to have the SKU units and all the other various stuff too. So letting you guys know we have been watching that and seeing that. So it's probably going to be worth it to go check throughout this weekend. Saturday and Sunday both seem kind of nice when it comes to stock. All right, this is my opinion. So, I mean, we've got something going on. Though we sadly have still not seen any, online drops in quite some time. We're not 1 zillion% sure if they're kind of fully just moving towards in-store and they're just kind of giving up on online drops. I'd probably say no. I mean, obviously, even for, say places like Target, who do a lot of Xbox drops, or even say, for GameStop's a good example, you can kind of do both. They both end up working, so we didn't sadly go and see any drops for that, and the last drop was more so on the Xbox side. We did so go and see GPUs, though, if you guys kind of care about that. We've also been seeing a lot more GPUs popping up throughout these past few days, so maybe this weekend or early start of next week, we'll see a lot more GPU restocks from pretty much everywhere. But at least for that, keep on checking the Best Buy for the app trick. If you guys want me to go more in-depth on the app trick or how that kind of works, feel free to leave a comment down below, just in case you guys would like. Mainly because, I mean, it's kind of weird, but it's not really. You basically keep on just checking online, and whenever a store, even if it says it's out of stock, if it shows up, you basically want to go check that store, because basically you'd assume like your closest store would also say out of stock. So it's kind of like a weird, somewhat glitch in their system where it's basically showing it's out of stock, but it's not really, or saying that pickup's not available. But in theory, you probably could go pick it up because the stock is there. It's hard to explain. If you guys want me to go more in depth, I can. Now, when it comes to Anton Lion, we actually did not see them do pretty much anything throughout this week, which we kind of knew because they did a double whammy PlayStation drop last week. We were maybe watching for an Xbox Series X, although they did do some GPUs. So at least they did something throughout this entire week itself. And that was pretty much about it. I think they also maybe did a Xbox Series S drop. So they just kind of did mediocre stuff. No Xbox Series X's or PlayStation 5s, although, as we said, kind of expected that. When it comes to GameFly, they did finally go do a drop. They did an Xbox Series X bundle. Wasn't the best, wasn't the worst, but they did have a chance to go and do that. Amazon, as we were kind of expecting, was a little bit more on the quieter side. Did not see anything from the PS5 or Xbox. We really weren't expecting anything from them, although we'll probably be watching them throughout the rest of this month, by the next 2 weeks, and we'll see if there's any more stock arrivals with it. So overall, at least all the big boys had some intriguing stuff. We did also have one really weird PlayStation Direct that technically restocked, although it was kind of a bug, and it kind of was like an instant email where basically the second they sent out the email for it, they were able to go get their consoles and go from there. So it was really weird. We'll see if those people actually get their consoles, but that was only pretty much the PS Direct that we saw. Microsoft Directs, we have been seeing somewhat consistent emails being sent out from them. We'll probably also be watching to see if they have any more for tomorrow too as well. They're on the overdue side. We've been watching them, and hopefully we will see more of them, because I don't mind people getting them directly from both PlayStation Directs and Microsoft Directs. Walk-ins. Now, for all the walk-in locations, we kind of have to watch maybe this weekend. I would not be that surprised if it was a little bit more on the quieter side, mainly because this entire past, I'd seen like 2 weeks or so have been very quiet for both Myers, BJ's for their onlines, military walk-ins, Fred Meyer's, Kroger's, HEB's, PC Richards. All like the places we've been kind of subtly watching have been very, very quiet. Although we do have like some good news when it comes to the big boy walk-ins, such as the GameStop and Best Buy, which we'll cover up a lot this weekend. If you guys have the information on that, send me a tweet or an email or YouTube or whatever, and we kind of go from there. But this week was a bit more on like the mid side. It was okay. We did have Target, okay. We had Best Buy walk-ins, weird, not everyone got them. It's okay. GameStop, smaller stock, it's okay. It's better than literally zero, because we've had a few weeks where there's literally been nothing, but at the same time, I would kind of like to see a proper big, like, good Walmart drop, and a proper good big Target drop, and a proper good big Best Buy drop, so all of you guys go get your consoles. So we'll kind of talk about this a little bit more throughout the next few days, so be on the lookout, and make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, especially for the videos tomorrow. And as well, I appreciate you all so much for being here. Hope you guys had a good and fantastic week. I know it's been a little bit of a weird week when it comes to the world. Just want to say I appreciate you all so much for being here. Follow the Twitter, follow the Twitch stream, check out the Amazon links and the Weeble and Coinbases, and I just appreciate you all so much for existing. Y'all are lovely. And I'll see you guys probably tomorrow for more videos. Love you guys.